They disrespected. The disrespect. 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 If my granddaddy could see this today. Today. Probably threw up violently. My name is Denton Fisher. I've been in the men's dating industry now for 10 years. I work with such companies as RSD, working alongside Tyler, Owen Cook, Julian Blanc, Max Toronto, Luke Madison, Sam, and I've also worked for Girls Chase as a writer and coach. I also was a head coach for Endless Options, run by Jesse from Simple Pickup. Now, I'm going to give you guys a bold claim. This text model I'm about to give you, all this advice is the most modern texting advice you're going to find on YouTube. The system itself is built off of Todd Valentine, who I think is honestly the guy who has pushed a lot of information out there for a lot of guys to teach them how to text girls. And I want to build on his system. I want to improve it. Me, Todd, and Owen Cook are the only guys who are putting out any original content nowadays. Pretty much all other dating coaches are parroting what other dating coaches are saying instead of actually understanding the subject matter at hand. And that's okay. They're helping people out. I have no problem with it. In this video though, these are concepts that I've perfected and I've built upon. So I hope you guys enjoy it. With that being said, let's get into the video. Now, if you want tailored coaching, whether you want to do it online or do it in person, I can help you out. Text me here if you guys are interested. What is a girl's reality when you're texting her? What is her life like in terms of dating? Chances are, if she's talking to a guy, the majority of guys are weird and creepy. So, statistically speaking, which category does she think you are in? Does she think that you're a normal, cool guy? Or does she think you're weird and needy? Depending on how much of a conversation you have with her up front, it could be either or. Honestly, it's probably leaning towards needy or weird. So through texting is your job to prove to her that you're not one of those guys. That you're a socially intelligent, masculine, strong guy. Powerful even. Now, here's the thing. If you are texting a girl, let's say hypothetically she goes to you or flakes you, it helps to understand this piece right here. There's other guys out there that she's very likely talking to. And some of them have a lot more investment than you do right now. She's put in a lot more work. They have proven to her that they are cool guys. She has a 100% chance of having a good time with this dude. So if he pops up in her DMs and says, I want to hang out, who's she going to hang out with? You or him? And that's okay. She's trying to find the guy that she is most compatible with. The guy that's the highest quality he can find. It's just the same thing that you're doing. You're trying to find the highest quality girl you can. You can't be mad at her for this. Most guys are weird, and there's a small percentage of guys that are cool, and the girl's likely going to have some of those guys in her DMs. And if those guys have 100% proof that they're cool, and you only have a percentage chance that you're a cool, awesome guy, she's going to go with them over you. Now, this is another thing we're going to get into a little bit later, but dating apps are a little bit different than if you pick her up through cold approach. If you pick her up through cold approach or you approach her in a certain situation, she has more of a piece of your personality. Whereas on a dating app, she only has your photos and your texts. So in dating apps, you have to add a lot more personality. You have to add a lot more effort. Whereas if you pick a girl up through a cold approach, it's going to be less effort and you actually want to have more of a vacuum of qualification, which again, we'll get into that in a second. Girls have an easy time with upfront, but a hard time with the back end. It's why a lot of these guys still haven't tied this girl down. The guys are still probably in their hoe phase. They're probably still playing the field. So what the girl's looking for is the cross section. She wants to find a guy who is cool, who is dope, but also wants to date her seriously. And so you want to be finding this balance. Now, this is not something you get mad about. Don't get mad at women, because I know a lot of you guys are. But you guys have certain situations that are easier than women. True story. And being a victim isn't sexy. Being a victim isn't sexy. If you're going to be saying to yourself, women have it so easy and I have it so difficult, shut the fuck up. Like seriously, shut up. All right, is that helping you? No. Then don't fucking say it. Don't focus on it. Focus on what you have control over. Now, there's a certain personality you want to text through, like a screen. There's a certain type of guy that she wants to interact with on the other side of that phone. The guy believes he's valuable. Either thinks he's sexy, powerful, has something going for him. She wants to date somebody that believes in himself. She also, knowingly or not, wants a guy that seems like he has options. Is no pressure about taking anything seriously or even a date. The date is not that big a deal. You guys don't even know each other yet. When you get to know somebody, then you want to be investing them. Then you want to be giving that romantic energy. But until you know somebody, it's just all you have is a face and a body. Like you don't know the person. So why would you get so romantic with her? Puts too much pressure on the girl. And also could scare her from wanting to meet up with you. Because if she doesn't like you, you're going to take it to heart, take it seriously, and you're going to get upset. And she just won't upset you. You're in it for the fun and the connection rather than for sex or relationship. Necessarily. You're the cool kid, you're the popular guy. You decide what's cool and what's not. You have your own version of reality. You're an intelligent human being and you understand what you like and what you don't like. You're not afraid of the social norms. If you like something that's not normal, that's okay. You're honest and authentic with it. You have a strong frame of reality. You don't get bent around by the girl. Girls don't want to date a guy that they can just easily push around that's a pushover or is soft. You have a strong frame of reality. However, you are a team with her. You guys are on the same side. You guys are working towards a fun vibe in the text exchange. You guys are looking to create a common vibe of fun energy. You're not severing rapport, you're breaking rapport. There's a big difference. Breaking rapport is teasing, it's joking, it's being playful, but it's never severing. Now, to get good at this texting, this balance, this energy, you have to practice. How do you practice? By going out and doing cold approach, by talking to women that you think are attractive, saying hi to them, grabbing their phone numbers, texting them, by getting onto dating apps, get onto Bumble, Tinder, Hinge. Practice makes perfect. Get on these text apps and take it seriously. And then when you find something that you think is hilarious, that you think is funny, save it down, write it down, make a little color notes, save down all the lines that went well for you, save them down so when you're nervous, you're not feeling in a good headspace, you have some backup ammo you can pull out of your ass. And then note what doesn't work. Over time, you're going to create a tacit understanding of how to text a girl in a sexy way. Your confidence and your emotional well-being matters. If you're in a bad mood, it will come across in the text. If you're happy, sad, if you're in a good, playful place, it'll come across in the texting. Now, if you're in a bad mood, don't text girls. Don't talk to them. Now, if you're in a great mood, text them. Now, if you're in a bad mood and you want to text or have to text, write down the text, save it for an hour, put it away, pick it back up, reread it, see if you still feel the same way. To have an authentic conversation, you on occasion have to risk offending her. You guys are working towards the common vibe. You guys are on the same team. She's the woman, you are the man. Don't be afraid to be a masculine entity. Don't be afraid to lead, to be strong. That's what she wants. Don't draw boundaries with girls you don't know. If you haven't been on a date with this girl yet, you can't get mad at her that she flakes. Again, we'll get into this in a quick second, but don't punish bad behavior when you don't even know the girl. Don't worry about that. Turn everything into a joke. You don't know her that well yet to even get emotional about her. To get butthurt towards a girl you don't know doesn't make sense. Would you get mad at a homeless guy for fucking up his life? No, because you don't fucking know him. However, if it was your dad on the street, yeah, you can be pissed at him. I came up with that one on the spot. I didn't know if it sounded good or not. You like that? How to give advice on that for a long time. So that was like the first time it kind of came to me. Now again, a lot of this switches up depending on if you got her phone number from being in person or through a dating app. The one thing I do dislike in terms of modern texting advice is the idea around shit tests. Yes, shit tests are good. Shit tests are good, but it's good if you know what you're doing. And I feel like a lot of guys don't know what they're doing. And usually there's only 3 things that guys talk about in terms of shit tests, when in fact there are 4. Now, the first one is actually completely relevant. You can't really use without knowing the girl better or talking to her in person, which is ignore. You can't ignore her. It's just, if she fucks with you and she's messing with you, it doesn't help to ignore it. It doesn't make any sense because you don't know her yet. Exaggerating could be something good. I can't see that working, exaggerating upon a shit test. You can agree with the girl as well. You can playfully agree. Now you have to understand the mindset underneath the agreeing. It's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek, supposed to be playful. It's not just that you flatly agree with her or even interpret it as something positive. Now the 4th way that's pretty good is misinterpreting sexually or misinterpreting her intentions, where she's saying this because she's into you. And with any shit test, you only want to pass the shit test over text. Don't try to do anything extra. Don't try to be cute with it. Here are the don'ts of texting. Don't be boring. On occasion, have a little bite to you. Have some teasing. Be playful. If you're boring over text, that is half the guys on dating apps. Don't be sexual. A lot of guys are too thirsty, and you do not want to put yourself into the thirsty bucket. You're somebody that has abundance with women. If you had abundance with women, would you have to try to get sexual with them over text? Or does it seem that you're presumptuous? Would that put a lot of weight on a girl? Would that put a lot of pressure on her when she meets up with you? If anything, if she starts getting sexual with you, use it as a way to bait for more qualification or to get her to chase you. Be playful with it. Don't just give it to her. Be a challenge. Don't talk about things that are socially charged unless you know for sure that she is on the same side of the fence as you, then that's okay. If you don't know, don't fucking do it. Don't talk about things that she has heard a lot, such as her looks, her height, her ethnicity, etc. Avoid the dumb shit that other guys say. Don't be the last one to text the girl. When you sense the conversation's over, let her send the text. Don't try to send her anything cute like have a good night, cutie. Leave it alone. Make sure that you're not the last person texting her when you're not dating her, when you don't know her that well. Don't send memes. Memes are corny. Memes are tryhard. Don't send memes. Emojis are cool, but don't overdo it. Use emojis when you are afraid of severing rapport or you need to soften a text, or if you want to be cocky with it or playful. Other than that, don't overuse emojis. Now, you want to be building a powerful image. Don't fake it, be it. Cold approach and get yourself out there. I talk about this all the time. Be social, talk to people, go out 2 times a week minimum to socialize. Don't just talk to girls, talk to guys too. Make friends, become popular. Now, if you become popular, this will help out with the next section. Building a social media presence. Turn your Instagram into a landing page. If you're building a social circle of friends, you'll start going to events, which will help you out in a later section in this video. But you'll have cool friends. You'll have cool female friends, people that care about you, people that are awesome. So when you post up photos or you do videos, you guys are doing fun things on your Instagram page. Now, why am I talking about Instagram so much? Most of you guys are making the same mistake where you guys are using phone numbers over Snapchat or even Instagram. There's just so little ways that you can communicate with a girl. The only way a girl knows you exist is if you message her. Whereas with these other apps, you can just post up a story. You can make a post. You can interact with her in dozens of different ways. Now, out of Snapchat and Instagram is better if you have a well-built Instagram. You want to use your Instagram as a landing page, as I said a second ago. You want to be getting good photos, knowing how to take good photos. The journey of 10,000 photos. Take 10,000 photos, try to improve every time, test your photos, try editing them, doing different colors, maybe cutting off the hands when the hands look awkward. Maybe you realize that the girl might not know which guy in the photo you are. When you realize that taking a photo in your living room might not be the best option for a dating app or for Instagram, it just doesn't make you look socially intelligent. And your energy in the photos matters. Your emotions, the way you felt in the photo, are going to show through in the photo. What emotions does a girl want to see in you? What emotions does a girl think are attractive? As I said, dating apps and cold approach are different. You have to soften it up, or you have to be more engaging texting wise, depending. Over dating apps, you want to be more engaging. You want to be texting more frequently, getting to know the person. Whereas if you talk to the person whereas if you talk to the girl in person, it will come across, you already know her personality. She already knows yours. She has enough of a slice of your personality to know who you are. You don't need to be chasing her constantly. You don't need to be texting her every day. If you are getting her number in person, set up the date then and there on the high note. Capitalize on the high note. Ask her, what are you up to this week? Now, if she does say that she's pretty busy, then say, don't even worry about it. Here, give me your Instagram. We'll figure it out later. But over dating apps, you have to show a lot more personality. You have to be a lot more flair because she doesn't know who you are. Now, this is an idea that I don't like in terms of Todd's teaching. He talks a lot about premise, and I agree. There should always be a premise. However, in dating apps and in texting, I don't think it's that important. Through the texting, you have to insinuate with your flirting and your playful teases, but there doesn't have to be a story. I noticed that he over-romanticizes girls in his interactions, either through text or in person, and he says it's to soften up his game. I think actually it's hurting him. I think it puts a lot of pressure on the girls. I think honestly you shouldn't have a story until the girl gets to know you better. I don't think the girl really needs a story. Not as much. I think she needs to probably know what you do for work, certain very generalized things about you, because she's going to tell her friends about you. But other than that, she cares more about your vibe than she does anything else. And if you try to bring up this romantic, cutesy energy, it's going to scare her off and think that you're going to be needy and creepy and weird, which is going to cause more flaking. Tension has to be very taught in a conversation. You have to be a vacuum of qualification. You want to be brief as you can. Don't add extra words. If you can say the same thing in another way that's going to be briefer, say that. You have to make sure that you have clarity in the way that you're messaging, so that if you send a text and she can't understand it, that's your fault. Now it's going to be it's going to be tougher to message. Be playful though. If you want to sit down, maybe write down 20 different ideas for a text to whatever she sent you. Ask yourself, how can I make this playful? Whenever I want to come to a creative solution, I'll usually write down 20 answers to something. If I want to come up with a title for a product or a title for a video, if I want to overcome some problem or situation, or I want to come up with a slogan, I'll usually write down 20 different answers to something, and then I'll take the best one out of those 20. If you want to send a girl a text, write down 20 things you could send her. Of those 20, send her the best one. You want to avoid qualifying the majority of the time. Sometimes you have to qualify, but for the most part, you want to be as little chasing or as little try hard as you possibly can. Don't be bragging so obviously. Pull it back. Don't be such a try hard. Give her more space to chase you. A lot of you guys are not giving the girl space. Investment is king. If you ask her a question at the end of every text to keep the conversation going, it comes across try hard. She should fight for the conversation a little bit herself. And if you're not letting her invest, that's the biggest key defining feature between you and any other guy, is investment in how much, honestly, your character, obviously your character. Investment's a big deal in terms of getting a girl out on a first date. In terms of getting a girl out on the first date to even want to invest in you, get her to invest at first. Let her chase you a little bit. You've already done a lot of chasing yourself. Now, I did like that Todd talked about this. He talked about how to define where a girl is at in terms of texting. There's 4 ways that he mentioned that a person could text you. He said that somebody could ignore you, just never text you, ice you, or somebody could shit test you, which is the second one up. Third one up, which is a little bit better, is where the girl's having a logical, flat conversation with you. And the best one is where you guys are having a fun vibe and a good energy. And if that's the case, definitely ask her out on a date. Now, Todd did mention one thing. He mentioned a line of reasoning to ask a girl out. I'm going to add one piece to it to augment it and make it even better. First, you want to qualify the girl. Then you lead with a vague suggestion. Now, the piece I add to this is asking, when is she free? Then when she responds when she's free, what I usually do is I give a very vague idea of when to meet up. I ask her, are you free later this week to hang out? And she says yes. I change subjects. The reason that you change subjects is you create a vacuum and space for her to chase you. You ask her about something else. You change topics. Now you give her a chance to ask you out on a date and give you a time specifically. Now, if she doesn't, guess what? You look less needy because you didn't immediately jump on the date.
All right, so the last part of this video actually just got deleted, so I apologize for that. I ended up actually being out here in Utah, but I wanted to really get this video out for you guys. Qualifier, basically get her on a small yes to lead into a yes ladder. So are you adventurous? Is something that he might ask to get a simple answer, and the girl's gonna say yes. Takes an action towards an ego, gets her to open up to the idea, and then what he does is a vague suggestion of a date. Hey, would you hypothetically speaking love to go on a date with a cute boy that you have a great interaction with, for example? And then if the girl says yes, he would go for more of a serious question. He'd be like, hey, well, let's meet here at this time at this place. Now, there's one thing I actually want to add to this, which I'll add between vague suggestion and the close. So qualifier, vague suggestion, and then change subjects before you close. Now, why would you do this? Why would it make sense to change subjects? It gives her a chance to chase you now. Also makes you look less needy. Now, if you're asking her, would you be open to an idea of going and doing something sometime? Or would you say, for example, what are you up to this week? And then you change subjects. It gives the girl a chance to chase you. Now, let's say that she doesn't chase you. At the very least, it makes you look non-needy. And then you can always come back around and ask for the close after you do that. Change subjects, let her chase, re-engage in about maybe 2 to 3 sentences, depending on how into the idea she was. And then you're golden. Honestly, it makes you look a lot cooler, a lot more relaxed about the idea of a date, not so needy and not so creepy or weird. Now, the next thing I want to get into is actually, what do you do when a girl's flaking? Now, you can usually tell when a girl's going to flake you, and if you can tell a girl's going to flake you, honestly, flake her first. Be the first person to pull away, especially if it's the kind of girl who would flake, because these kind of girls, generally speaking, are the ones that would be into a guy that does that. It also puts you on the high ground, honestly. A lot of you guys probably had that situation where you weren't that into a girl and then she maybe pulled away and now all of a sudden you want her more. It's human nature, honestly, to want something that you can't have. So if you pull away first, it puts you in a better position in the future to re-engage her. Now, if a girl does flake you, hypothetically speaking, what do? Do you punish her? Do you chase her down? Do you keep texting her? No big deal. Back off. Don't chase it. Be cool about it. Give her maybe a week or 2 and then re-engage her. Now, if you guys want to be a little bit more toxic with it, if you guys want to, post up a video from the old days, from maybe a while back ago, of you having fun. And don't say it's from a while ago. Make it seem like it's the day of, the time that you guys are supposed to be meeting up. You're out doing something else. Now, if she were to engage you, what do? Oh, that's an old video. If she were to ask about it, oh, it's just an old video. It's just a fun video. But then it gets her re-engaging again. But it makes it look like she's not the number one, and it's not that big a deal for you, which is the main reason I'm even saying this. A lot of the stuff that we're trying to do is trying to make it seem like you're not obsessed, which the problem is that most guys are obsessed. Most guys are creepy. Most guys are weird. And these are the acts and the interactions, the ways that guys speak when they are not so invested, and they're not going to be creepy or weird on a date, honestly. You're showing that you're free of outcome, which relieves the girl of a lot of pressure. All right, guys, I hope this video helped you guys out. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And with that being said, peace. Got him in range and I come in a rover, running their mouth and I'm running them over. Wait till I fucking approach you. Look at my dad like your son is a soldier. Don't nobody got it like me, man. I got him on the ropes to Muhammad Ali. Like none of y'all hot as I be, dog. You ain't on my level, you are not in my league. I'm feeling like an animal in him. I'm like, looking like a cataclysm when I be bodying the beat and I be